Back, bitches. Just kidding. I'm sorry. My bad. Yeah. So yeah, man. I don't know why I wanted to talk about it. This shit got shut in my eye. Fuck that shit. Bitch. Anyways, it's because the hoodie. I should like got caught up in that bitch. So like, all right, so this story about this chef lady, right? Cool lady, I love her. She's awesome. So one day when I was on the journey of this whole food truck thing, I started to think, fuck, man, like paying all these bills, getting annoying as fuck, like, having to buy like, medium quality to low quality food sometimes, and I'd be an hour and 45 minutes away. So spending all this money in the truck, there was times I'd have to eat McDonald's and shit that was garbage because it was the only thing that was open, and like it was just and I'm an hour and 45 minutes away from home. So the diet changed a lot. I got out of shape, became depressed. I lost a lot of time from the gym, but I knew it was necessary to move forward with the business. So I do like partial sacrificing. I temper it. I do some of this. I stop and do some of that. Stop, do some of this, and eventually I'll make it. So, anyways, so I decided during the journey of the food truck thing, I decided, let me get a little part-time job, bro. Just some little breakfast place. My specialty is saute, or eggs or breakfast and brunch. You know what I'm saying? Eggs, omelets, anything like that, Benedict's, all that stuff. So I applied at a place called Cafe Bastille in Miami Beach. And I remember they showed up because they sent me an automatic thing on Indeed, and it was like, hey, just show up from 2 to 4 from Monday to Friday, ask for a manager and say whatever. So I did that. I got suited up. First, I did what I always do at all, job interviews. I went, first when I parked, I went out like in like a tank top, sunglasses, with some flip-flops, and I walked by the establishment. You know what I'm saying? Looked around, whatever. Looked at the people that worked there. Looked at the way it looked, the plates, the tables, the servers. Look how they seem. Look how they're dressed up and down. Look at the manager, who's who. And then I went around the block. I changed into my suit, and then I came in for the interview. I just wanted to make sure it was even worth my time for these people to talk to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? My time is expensive, bro. You gotta understand your worth and what your value is. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Me, I've done that all my life, and that's why I got zero friends. Nobody knows how to appreciate value. So, anyways. There's those specific people that do see the value in you, and that's kind of sort of what this whole entire video is based about. So whatever, I went to the interview. I went up to the guy. I said, hey, how you doing? I'm here for an interview, blah blah. It's a line cook, whatever, and I'm all suited up, motherfucking blue with the white tie. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking like a mobster, bro. So motherfucker, so he sits me down, talks to me a little bit, then he takes me to the actual chef of the store, right? It's a lady, she's Cuban, she's like around my age. Her name is Yaida. She sat me down, she talked to me. Me and that lady talked like for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, maybe an hour. We sat there and talked and most of it wasn't even about the job. Like maybe 15 minutes was about the job, the rest was just when I told her that I had a food truck and I was trying to make it work, but that it was so expensive and this and that, and I had to balance life and I had to get a job to to continue to maintain or whatnot, whatever. She's like, man, she shared the same dream as me, you know what I'm saying? And then it turned out that I went to culinary school here in America. She went to culinary school in Cuba. I didn't even know it existed in Cuba, to be honest with you. So I was like, damn, that's cool. So she's like, so damn, you've graduated culinary school and you have a food truck, bro. You have exactly like my path. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You have the food truck already, and you're so close to your dream, which means that you're so close to my dream. You know what I'm saying? That's like she's like, oh yo, I see myself in you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're Cuban, yeah, you were born here, but whatever. I came over here, and then you're also a single dad. I'm a single mother as well. So it struggles being the chef of a breakfast restaurant that's always busy in the middle of Miami Beach. I was like, trust me, I know. It's my. At least he has a father, around. He helps. Like this, my son's situation, the mother ain't even physically around, so it's a whole different animal. So it makes it twice as difficult. But luckily, I have the support of my family. Shout out to you guys. I love you guys. Everybody who helped, whoever helped, anybody who ever helped my son with anything, a ride, pick him up, drop him off, take him here, sleep there for some fucking food, even if it was bad for him. Listen, I love you. Appreciate that. But anyways, Shout out to Logan, man. You're the shit, bro. I know you be posting those emo things or whatever, but like, like I know it's just a phase. It's just what's cool now. It's an algorithm. It'll get over. I had the same thing. So, what was I gonna say? So like, whatever. Like, I go to the job and I do this thing called the stage. A stage is where like I go to a restaurant and then I sign a waiver, and then for about 2 hours for free I cook, and then they tell me, like, this is how we do this is how we do that, and then tickets will come in and they'll tell me what's what ingredients are in what. Boom, drop this, drop that, flip that egg, cook this, cook that, fold this, fold that, put this in the oven, just to test my skills, my strengths, my weaknesses, see how fast I respond to things. The typical fucking criteria for a fucking fast-paced, high-volume line cook or whatever. It's not even fine dining. You know what I'm saying? It's just like fucking eggs and omelets and weird shit and French toast and shit. So, so I worked that stage. They liked the way I worked. She told me, okay, cool. So like now you just gotta finish the paperwork and all this shit. And I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, that's no pressure. So I finished the paperwork. It was like a day of paperwork. I did all that shit, turned it all in, signed the papers. I went over there three times. I went over there 3 times and I paid every single time. I think it was like $15 for parking because it's the beach. Hello. And like I remember throughout the whole entire time, the whole entire week that I would like go there and come and go and do whatever the fuck, I kept complaining, like, man, God, why do you always bring me these jobs that are so far and jobs that I always gotta pay like fucking $20 a day to park? Like, fuck, man, I know it's Miami, it's where I live, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit fucking cuts into the pay. It becomes an expense, with the gas and this and that, whatever. So I kept complaining about it. When you complain about something, eventually God takes that shit out of the way. So whatever. Check this out. After all that happened, I finally had sent her the email for the rest of the onboarding thing, which is like me getting into the system. I put my social security, I do this, I do that, I have a PIN number to clock in and everything. And the next day I'm ready to go to work. Right? And they give me a uniform and I'm good. Right? She calls me. And then first I go to tell her, hey, I'm gonna send you the rest of the stuff now. And she calls me. I remember I was taking a shit. She calls me and I was like, hello. She was like, hey, I'm gonna send you the stuff. And she's like, hey, listen, I have some bad news. I was like, what happened? She's like, we're not gonna be able to. She said, no te vamos a poder contratar, which means we're not gonna be able to hire you in Spanish, right? And I was like, why is that? And she was like, she says that we're not gonna be able to afford you being added to the salary and the budget once the slow season comes. I already knew it was fake. I already knew it was bullshit. Someone told her something, or they did a background check or whatever, and like they didn't, they never, I don't know. They just told her to fire her, or just tell her we're not gonna hire her. So, right. So I already knew what time it was. So I was like, okay. I just said, okay, cool. All right, no problem. I was taking a shit, but I was on my phone. She was trying to like break down a story and like say sorry and like, oh, you're a single father like me. I'm a single mom. I was like, hey, chef, listen, bro. It ain't the end of the world, bro. I've been through worse, way worse. You telling me it's not gonna work out? That's not the first time I heard that. So it's cool. God bless you and your child. You know what I'm saying? I'll see you. Whatever. Boom. Good luck to you. Boom. I hang up the phone. And then like weeks go by, bro. And then one time I noticed. I noticed on WhatsApp, like I guess I had saved her number as a chef or whatever because I thought I was gonna work there. So then I guess she saved my number too. So then it would be that like her stories would pop up on my WhatsApp, and I would keep seeing her, and I would keep getting reminded of her, remind her, and then I was just like, yeah, whatever. And then like one day I remember, I forgot where I was, but then I thought it was a dream. I looked at my phone and I saw that it said Yaira, chef, Cafe Bastille, and then it was like a message that said hola. And then I saw her like the picture of her face, and like, bro, like for a while, I was just like, I kept thinking about it. I looked at my phone, I was like, damn, this bitch actually texted me. I thought it was like a dream, or like I don't know why I kept thinking about that shit, but she's texting me. And it was like 2 or 3 days I didn't respond, and I was like, hey, what's up? What's going on? I thought she was calling to like ask for the job or some shit, but then she goes and tells me, hey, listen, so like, I just wanted to talk to you, like, you know what I'm saying? I know you're doing this whole food truck thing, bro. Like, I was wondering if you were ever to be able to like to sit down and like talk to me. About how to get it started and how you did it and the process you went through and all that stuff. This is the chef that called me weeks ago, told me, hey, we're not going to be able to hire you. So it's a small world, you know what I'm saying? And then like that's a brave thing for her to do. And, I honor that shit because she's an immigrant. She's fucking poor. She's trying to make it. She's making a decent salary, but, for after taxes, that shit goes away. So I told her, I was like, check this out. When are you free? Because me, I'm chilling. So, I told her, look, when you're free, let me know. So then we meet up. We set up a date to meet, and then I told her where to meet. It was at a bar or a little cafeteria or some shit, and then it's right next to my gym. So I told her, when you finish what you're doing, meet me at this address. I sent her the address at the fucking place. I went to the gym waiting for her. So I was at the gym. She said, "Hey, I'm here at this place. Where you at?" Boom, I park. I pull up. And I say hi to her. And I tell her all this stuff, and then she was like, "Okay." And then she was like, "Sorry, I had to order food. I'm hungry." I said, "Yeah, it's cool. No, wait, come on." And she said, "You want something?" She offered me something. I got like a coffee or something. Un café con leche. So before we say anything, like a gangster, I tell her, listen, first of all, before I speak anything to you, before I give you any information that I've had to work for, that I've had to like suffer for, pay for, all I need is one thing from you, and it's gonna tell me whether you deserve the information or not. She was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "You'll see." I told her, I was like, "Listen, I know she had fucked up. This is what happened when she was when we were trying to schedule the meet. She told me, "Oh, I can't do it these next 2 days because I'm training somebody at the restaurant. I'm training a cook or whatever." Blah blah blah. I was like, "Okay, cool. Just hit me up when you're ready." So then when we met up, I had told her, "Listen, before I give you any information, I need you to tell me the real reason why you guys couldn't hire me. If you're willing to open up to me like that, I'm willing to open up to you, and we can trust each other. So we got to build a little bit of trust, a little bond first before I give you free information that I went years through to attain, for free. I'm just gonna give you the recipe to the sauce. That doesn't work with me. I know there's money behind this shit, bro. This shit generates the most money at everything. Fuck your phone, fuck everything. The phone can't do it by itself. This is what makes the money, the mind. And if someone has it, they have it, and I do, and I have it. So I told her, listen, if you tell me the real reason why you couldn't hire me, I'll give it all to you. Everything. I'll show you the whole notebook. I'll show you all my notes. I'll show you everything, all the pictures, the videos, the shit I had to go through, what you got to go through, everything, the websites where you got to go, all that shit. I'll help you out. And then she told me, she was like, "Oh, the general manager, the guy that you met, Darian or whatever his name is, told me that the upper class people, the owners or the big people, the executives, called him and said, hey, listen, this person that you're about to hire, whatever that you put in the system, we're not going to go ahead and hire him." And I'm pretty sure they did a background check and they saw all my active felonies and all that shit. And they said, listen, we're not going to hire him. So they're French. They're weak. They're pussies. So whatever. So then she told me, she said, listen, she was like, okay, fine. Deal. She's like, okay. They came to me. And then he said, the reason I'm coming here the reason I contacted you was because I defended you to the end. I told that this guy came to me and said, you need to fire this guy, tell him not to come because of whatever reason. You have to make it up. They told her that she has to find the reason why I can't get hired. So they put all the pressure on her. And she's like, no, I'm not going to do it. You're the manager too, bro. You're actually my manager. She told the GM, you fire him. You tell him, look, it's not going to work out. You even have his number. You know what I'm saying? So you have his number too. He's like, listen. She was like, listen. He's a single father. I'm a single mother. So I feel bad that I can't even give him the job. So I'm not gonna call this man and tell him that. And they forced her to do that shit. They said, listen. They said it's either you do it or you're fired. So she's like, fuck, dude, that's crazy, bro. These motherfuckers are cutthroat, bro. Straight up, that's that corporate shit, bro. That white collar shit, boy. That shit get you killed, bro. So she told me the truth. They didn't tell me the reason. She's like, the only person that I even talked to about it was the guy you met too, the little short dude with the suit, the little Mexican looking guy, Darwin or some shit like that. And she was like, yeah, she just told me, listen, you either fire him or we fire you. I was like, wow, bro. I was like, okay, cool. And I shook her hands, like, yeah, I appreciate you being honest. So yeah, let's get down to fucking business, bro. So then I made her this list or whatever right here. And this is just so I can share with you guys with me and her. Oh, damn, you see that cut? I cut myself 3 times on the same finger with a new knife. It's sharp as fuck. I love it. So whatever. This is all right. So I told her it's a couple key elements to this whole food truck thing. It's not the easiest thing in the world. It's actually quite the adverse fucking route to take, with this food truck thing, It's but it is easier to fund, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier to fund than a restaurant if you're in the culinary world or whatever. And she's a chef, so obviously that's what she's gonna pursue. So I told her, listen, man, I was like, man, you don't need to have having So you can't be moached. Oh, how do you, she's like, how do you work out all the time? How do you stay fit? How do you still work on the business? How do you have a kid? How are you a single father and you're the full custodial parent, whatever? And I'm just like, I hustle my fucking ass off, bro. I fucking lose sleep. I do all the research I can. I make sure I'm getting facts wherever I'm getting them from. I double check everything. I just make sure everything is, I just look up what I need to look up and get it done. It's just like step by step. Or just look. It's like working in the kitchen. I told her, I was like, when you have the fucking 25 tickets in front of you and they're all modified and they're all fucked to shit. And some are delayed because you don't have this, you don't have that. They're doing this in the bite to make it and this and that. You're in the fucking middle of the heat. You have to stop and do one thing at a time. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to just say, okay, what's next? What's the next step? The next step is to do this on the truck. Boom, do it. That's how I did it. I did it step by fucking step. I did it piece by piece by piece by piece, and that's why it's taking so long, of course. But these steps, they costed money. They costed thousands of dollars at a time. It wasn't cheap. So I told her, listen, man, you're gonna have to tell me things. So I was like, listen, I'm not saying that you got to quit your job and leave your job to do this, because obviously you got to support your family. She supports her mom and her daughter. So, and it's crazy, the chef that told me, hey, we can't hire you. Like she looked out and she reached out to me, and it's crazy how this all happened. So then whatever, I told her, listen, you're gonna have to have discipline, man. Like, if you work in the mornings, I know as a chef, even if you do work mornings, you're gonna be there from around 4 or 5 to like 4 or 5. They're always around 12 to 14-hour shifts, even though it's breakfast. I know, I understand it still doesn't sound funny. Like, it doesn't sound right. It sounds funny. You think working in the morning it's more beneficial, but like you gotta remember, like now it's taking time out of your day, because like, for example, the days that you would have to send employees home because of overtime, you have to stay as the manager and clean what they didn't clean because you sent them home. Then you also have to do whatever their closing task was as the closing procedure. And you still got to do all your management duties, which means like, prep list, schedule, orders, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Budgets, all that shit, ROI, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So P&Ls, all that crap, dude. Like all the stuff nobody wants to ever fucking do. At least not right, anyways. So I told her. So you're gonna have to discipline, bro. It's right here. Like I wrote her a list, man. I told her guardar todo extra, no gastar nada, which means like, listen, like I strictly did a grocery list, bought that shit, and went home and made sure it was enough for like the month, and like I would eat accordingly. With me, considering me and my son every day, that's how the groceries would be. So sometimes we go like twice a week to the grocery store, because sometimes me and him would eat a lot. So then, so listen, like you only eat at the house. There's no extra nothing, because I don't feel like cooking. I even told her, I was like, you're a manager. Nigga, make some food here. You know what I'm saying? Heat up some chicken, no sé qué pinta, llévaloselo para la casa. You know what I'm saying? Get some shit. Toss up some rice with that shit. It'll cost you less. That's what you gotta save. Every single dollar, every single penny fucking counts when you're on the path to doing this shit. Because when you're on the path to doing this shit, once you decide that the food truck is what you want to do, you have to understand you're gonna spend a big chunk of money, which is gonna be for the truck, and after that, there's gonna be so many other things to do that you gotta pay for too. So like you have to have the mentality, and not a lot of people have that. I didn't have that. I didn't think this was gonna happen. So like I get to guide people through this shit, and I should be charging for this information. This is lived information. You know what I'm saying? So, so I told listen, every single dollar counts, bro. Like I would have to eat McDonald's sometimes because I was like, fuck it, I'll get the 1 for 1 with the whatever the fuck, get something to drink. I'll be full bloated. I feel like shit, but hey, I'm not hungry. So fuck it. There was nights where I slept in my car up there in West Palm Beach, all that shit, bro, all that stuff. I took sacrifices, man. I made sacrifices to make that shit work, and it still isn't functioning. Just to show you how much that shit takes. So I put sus días libre estudie sobre negocios de food trucks. And in translation, that's click. It's on your days off, study about food trucks. Study about the business of food trucks. Just look up videos, watch videos, hear information, and that's it. You just read stuff. You just sit down and like do information. Like you sit down and watch videos, and you watch other people that did it. You look for other food trucks in the industry. You look up websites. You go to Yelp. Look for food trucks online. Look how they look, how their logo looks, how their menu looks, what they sell, where they sell it, everything, how they dress, all that stuff, man. Take all that information in and know that you got to do that. You have to have a brand. You can't just be a truck that says, hey, this is the menu. You write it down. I hear that. No, listen. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Cuba. you have to have a brand. You got to brand that shit. The brand is what's going to attract people. It's got to be focal points, man. Boom, you see some crazy bright big old thing, menu's clear, tells you what it is. Here's the number, here's the code. Click this shit and bam, you got your fucking menu. You know what I'm saying? So and then I put number 4, empieza a buscar camiones a ver los precios. Start looking for trucks. Look at the prices. She told me how much money she has saved. Not sure if it's okay to say how much it is, but that's not just for whatever. Who gives a fuck? So whatever. I told her, listen, whatever you have saved, you got to use that towards the truck, and you have to not be scared to spend the whole thing. I told her look, the partner that started the business before me told me, as I saw, you know what the hardest part of the whole business was? You know what's the secret behind all the success that I'm having so far? The hardest part was actually buying the truck, spending the fucking 40 grand, boom, spending the 40,000 and buying the truck and having it. Once you buy the truck, everything else just follows, bro, because the truck is what starts the business. The truck is the business. So I learned that the hardest part was just say, okay, yeah, fine. Boom, here's the fucking $40,000. Take it. They'll give me this. Boom, we'll sign the paper and the truck's yours. Okay, got it. Boom, done. So, I told you, listen, don't be afraid to write a check for like 95% of your savings when you find the right truck. That I can help you find the right truck. What's worth your menu. So you would have to come up with a menu first, which is probably following this or whatever. Yeah. So okay. So look, number 4 was look for the trucks to see the prices. Number 5 is piensa y crea su menú. Hágalo bien bueno, pero simple. Menú pequeño. So basically, start to create your menu. Make it good but simple. Obviously, less is more. And then a small menu. So you don't want to have 25 items to choose from. The inventory is crazy. The waste is high. You're cutting into your winnings. You know what I'm saying? So there's no point. Keep it simple to where you know what you're gonna sell. Whatever you're gonna have defrosted or whatever, or in the truck that day or that week or whatever. That's prepped out. Make sure everything's gonna last and everything's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Do deals if you have to, you give out free taco cards or whatever the fuck you sell. Buy one plate, get another plate free on Saturdays or some shit. Have the fucking shit bumping and selling double plates. You know what I'm saying? So you feel me? So just make your menu, create it, know what you want to sell, and then look at the demographics of the area that you're gonna sell to. So basically, if you're gonna go to Miami Beach, you can look it up online, like the demographics, like who lives there, the cultures, is it white people, black people, Asians, is it Hispanics, who is it, what's the majority race, and then know what to target. You got to target the area. It's like going to war. Before you drop the bomb, you got to look at where the people are that you want to bomb, right? So look, when you're gonna have a business, if you're gonna start let's say fast food, it's gonna be in like the places where people don't make a lot of money, because fast food is cheap. They can just drive up to it, boom, get the fucking $1 cheeseburger and go. Well, now it's a $3 cheeseburger. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? So, when it's fancy restaurants, where are they? High-end places, fancy beaches, nice, high-rise buildings, whatever. Fuck, expensive, $5,000 a month for one bedroom, shit like that. So like your demographics is important. You got to know where you're going to get your truck at, where you're going to put it. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to pay a place, or you're going to pay a gas station, or you're going to pay a Walmart? Hey, you're going to sit in your Walmart parking lot, whatever. So I told her that's part of the process too, finding where to put that motherfucker, because parking it in Miami, they got places that have $500 a month just to park it, not to operate. And they have a place that I've seen places charge $800, $900 to park the truck because it has a gated community, and it's because fucking all cameras and whatever the fuck. I was like, bro, just to park it, $800 a month. That's quite an invoice to make. It's no bueno. So I told her think about that too. And then I told her after you think about the food that you want to sell, that's when you think about the name, the logo. Se piensa en el nombre, el logo, y como quiere que luzca el camión. So basically, think of the name, the logo, and how you want the truck to look. Bright, dark, modern, old school, the colors, the shades, the letters. You want it big. What do you want it called? What's the name? How are you going to make the menu look? You know what I'm saying? The colors that you want. Is it going to tie to your food? Is it going to have any correlation from the fucking menu to the fucking actual thing? Make it look like it's a part of the fucking thing, the part of the cultures. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. So, don't have like German colors and stuff, fucking Cuban food. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm saying, just talk. You know what I'm saying? It's part of marketing. So you do the research. You know what I'm saying? So after that, and then I put number 7, bro, the last one right there. Compra el camión. Buy the truck. Once you've done step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the last step's to buy the fucking truck and then deal with a bunch of bills after. And then this is the first journey, bro. spend that money, get the truck, and once you get the truck, call me. But she told me, she said, you know what, bro? I want you to tell me when you're down here with the truck operating, and I want to come work on your truck for free. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I want to see how it operates, like from the inside, like for real. Like, I'll come. She's like, listen, I know you tell me that you have no employees, that it's just gonna be you all day here. And I was like, yes, listen, count on my help, bro. You're helping me out with this information. So since you're helping me out on my journey to be an entrepreneur, I'm gonna come. And if you get busy and you have orders, I'll help you out. I'll help you prep stuff. I'll help you do whatever you need me to do. And I was like, damn, for sure. Yeah, I got you. I was like, damn, bro, for sure. I was like, damn, that's a good person, bro. So everything happens for a reason, bro. I got sent to that job interview to meet her and only her for this food truck thing. And I know for a fact that, you know, we might even be partners and stuff. And it's pretty cool, bro. It's cool to meet somebody with the same ambition, same goals, and the same willingness to sacrifice. So this on my days off, when I have my daughter, I'll leave her with my mom and I'll go, you know, to Hialeah, and I'll work on the truck with you and stuff and see how it is and stuff like that. I get 2 days off, but there's always separate, so it's busy. I was like, I got you, bro. I've been a chef. I know I've been in charge. It's cool. I get it. So whenever you want, bro, you just let me know. If I'm operating and I'm parked and I'm all day from morning to night on, hey, you just show up if you want. But hey, I'm here. Okay, what's up? Cool, boom, jump in. Let's go. And whatever. You feel me? I'll take a break, go, chill, shower, smoke, come back, whatever. Because I'm still going to be working. I have a contract that I'm signing up for on, it's like late October, November, I think, or maybe even December, that I'm going to start working with some company for consulting or some shit. And so I have another thing coming as well. So I'm trying to get these next months dedicated straight to the truck. So I can get the truck working at night while I work mornings with the consulting thing. So you know, hopefully it all works out. So I'm going to help her out on her journey, and she's going to help me out. So we're going to, you know, I'm going to show her how I did it. You know, she's going to tell me what she's going to spend, when she wants to spend it, when she wants to look at the truck, and I'll help her look at the truck. I told her, find me a truck, and before you go look at it, I'll go look at it with you with my mechanic, and he'll tell you whether it's worth the price. He'll even plug it in and see what's wrong with it. He'll tell you if it's worth it. He'll look at every single detail on the truck, man. He fucking helped me out on my truck. So, you know, and I even told her I was even showing her like pricing. 40 pounds costs this much. Like I broke down everything for her. It was like an hour. Look at this shit. I broke down so much shit for her. Like literally sitting there while she's eating her chicken and her salad. I just started like a computer just spitting out information on how to get this done about the journey that I've already had to, you know, do. So it's pretty crazy, man, you know. So for a reason, God sent me that person, bro. So, you know, she reached out to me for a reason. So, you know, I think I'm going to pursue it, and I'm going to let her know, hey, listen, man, whatever you need, I got you. Just pull up. I'll show you how to do it. I've caught out. I'm hungry. I got the munchies. So, yeah, that was a story about her. Her name's Yaida, the chef at Cafe Bastille. She's super cool. So, yeah, I look forward to working with her. Straight up. She's cool. Super cool. So, I'm hungry. Bye.